lost some footage in between this. And I do greatly apologize for it, but I don't want to go back through all these steps again. But we got it up and running with everything that come with it except for the power supply. That was the culprit. So you'll see that in the video footage of this video where I was testing it, but this is a couple days later. And the Thermaltake Smart 600 watts working good in it. The original R9 270 graphics card, the 2 gig cards in it, 16 gigs of RAM. It's loaded up here, and we're booted into Windows. I put Windows Enterprise LTSC on it. So there's the screen, and I went with my favorite screensaver. I just like that screensaver. I don't know why. It just looks so sleek on here. But we can pull up the Radeon software real quick. And this is going to be the closeout video on this one, but it's not really the closeout because this one's not going to go away real soon. I've got, I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I got maybe a processor ordered for it, an i7. We got to get some more cores in it, but I mean, you're silly if you don't think I'm going to try this old i5 setup on iRacing. Because you can see that I've definitely downloaded it, and I've definitely put it on there. So that's going to happen, guys and gals. It's SimSation. That's what we do. We'll have it hooked up to the triple screens in no time, trying that. But the case actually cleaned up good. This is the stuff I want to show you. You can see it stained down here, and that's where the soda had spilled to, and the acid from the soda probably etched into that metal a little bit. But look how much cleaner it is. And you can look in there, and we got rid of all the dust bunnies and all the nastiness. We cleaned that card up, and it actually works. So you can't really complain about that. Will it work on triple screen? I don't know. Probably shouldn't even try it. It's probably the dumbest damn thing I ever try if I do. But I'm SimSation, and that's what it's just what I'm going to do. And you guys and gals know it. That's why you're going to love the channel. And it's why some of you already love the channel. But you can see that we've got Windows loaded up. I'll show you the specs on it as I do all these systems. I don't know why that always comes up in the wrong place. So here's what we got. i5 650, just like we thought. She's running at probably a little more than 3.2 gigahertz. We're going to take a look at that because I flipped the overclock switch. Let me get a light on it so you can see it. This thing's got an overclock switch, and it's got number 1 and 2 on it. So I flipped number 1 first. If you can see the little red switch, let me binge up a little bit here and see if we can't get this GoPro in here a little deeper. All right, so that little red switch right there, ooh, we caught a fan with our phone. This video just got better, didn't it? I hope it didn't break a blade off. I didn't see nothing fly off. But that little red switch, we flipped the number 1, and it wasn't fast enough, so we shut it off, and we flipped the number 2, and it got faster. That's our overclocking. So we did that. It's not running at 3.2. I think it's running at almost 4 gigahertz now, but let's check it to be sure. But that's going to show you what it is. We can look at our graphics card in the device manager. So we'll go to display adapters, and right there, R9 200 series. I'm just doing it. I wish I hadn't lost the footage. Some of it just wasn't any good, but we did get it back together, cleaned up and back together. And I did you run over the case, but let's see what are we hitting for the gigahertzes here. Let's see what switch number 2 did for us. How's that? We'll load CPU Z. I hope I didn't hurt the fan on that card. I don't know. We might have just locked the computer up. CPU ID doesn't want to load up. The device manager and everything else is working, so I'm going to expect... Nope, there it went. So let's open something so we can get this thing... there it is, 3800 megahertz I seen briefly. Oh, well, we can't see nothing when that loads up, but 3815 megahertz. 3900 briefly. So we got an overclock going on, almost 4 gigahertz on it. So that's what it is. You can see it's a Core i5 right here. We're running the whole 73 watts, so we're not hurting on that 600 watt power supply. There's our motherboard. I did check to make sure that our BIOS was updated to the latest version, and you can see that date's 3/2 of 2011, and it is version 1.6, which is the latest version of the BIOS on this MSI board. There's our 16 gigs of DDR3 memory and dual channel, and that's working good. It's running at 1600 megahertz, and you can tell that based upon the speed that it's at. And there's our graphics card, AMD Radeon R9 200, so you can see that right there. We can run a bench on it, but it's not good, guys and gals. We got 2 cores and we got 4 threads. So we'll hit the little CPU-Z benchmark, and you can see we're not even breaking 1,000. And we're a little better than our Core 2 Quad. Just a little bit, not much. But I'm going to see what I'll let the cat out of the bag. I ordered an i7 870 for it. And I'm trying to I really wanted to stay under $100 all in. So I'm going to tell you where we're at on this one. We bought the computer for $50. Everything is just as how we bought it, with the exception of the 600 watt Thermaltake Smart Power Supply, which cost us an additional $40. So we are all in on this build for 90 bucks right now. We give 50 for it, put a $40 power supply in it. We're running the 128 gig SSD. We got a 1 terabyte Hitachi drive here that works fine. And we got a 200 gig, and all those work fine. And I'll show you that those drives I formatted them and got everything off of them, but they're showing up and they're working. So right there, 185 gigs free on the D drive and 931 gigs free on the E drive. And then we've almost used up our solid state drive. That's the 128 gig solid state drive is not good. It's not anymore. I mean, iRacing will take that up by itself once the updates are done on it. There'll be 50 gigs of updates on this thing, and I am not kidding. But I wish I hadn't lost the footage of putting this thing back together. Once we cleaned it out, it looked real good. And look how much better the cable management is now as opposed to when we first got this thing. So, and I'm not tooting my own horn on that. I try to clean them up as much as possible. On the Hoff cases like this, it don't matter because you got closeout panels that go on it anyway. So you can't really see what's going on inside the darn thing. But what will it do here in 2025 with the i5 processor? So if somebody, let's say someone bought this just like this and it was a gaming rig, what's it capable of doing? These first series will support SSE 4.2, so you can put Windows 11 on it. But I want you to remember, well, you probably won't remember, I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. If you do not have AVX2 support, which these first gens don't, you can forget about playing any game that requires AVX2. But that's only very few titles that require that, so for the most part, it wouldn't bother you at all. However, you can put Windows 11 on this, okay, because it has SSE 4.2 support. But you won't play games like Valorant or anything that has Vanguard anti-cheat, because Vanguard anti-cheat with Windows 11 is going to look for secure boot. So my workaround on this, and you'll see me do this to a lot of my old hardware, they don't have Windows 11 on them. Some of them do and some of them don't. This has Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC because it's supported until 2032. So if you're a gamer, you need to pay attention to what I just said. It runs Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC because it's supported until 2032. January 13th to be exact, of 2032. So we're going to have security updates until then, and we know this operating system's going to work until then, and we know that we can play Riot games like Valorant or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and download Valorant, and we're going to see how this combo right here will run with it now. All right, $50 gaming PC build update, and I never thought about this before, and that's why I'm doing this update. So I loaded Valorant on it, and I started playing it, and let's just say it wasn't going great with that R9 272 gig card. So I thought, well, you know what, I'll throw my 280 in it. So I got my 280 out right here. But let me show you something bad about these cases. It won't fit. You can't fit it in there because of this cage that I have these two hard drives in. So what I'm going to do is I am going to move these two hard drives down to this lower cage at the bottom, and we're going to try to take this cage out of here. I'm pretty sure it bolts in the back because I've seen a couple of bolts, so we're going to flip you around. And I got to relocate these two hard drives down to the bottom, which kind of sucks in a way, but it doesn't in another way. And if you look, there's a couple of bolts up here. One there and one there. I think if I take those bolts out and two more bolts here and one over there, that we can pull this middle cage out and fit our graphics card. I'll put you on a tripod while I do that. But we're going to swap this around, and I'm pretty sure it'll work. So let's go ahead and do that right now, get it swapped around. That way we can put the 280 in it, and we can test Valorant on it. We haven't tested iRacing on it, but we'll probably do that with the 282. I mean, the 270 would be okay if you're playing nostalgic games, but I think if you want to play anything modern, that we're going to have to go up to a 4 gig card at least. So the 280X is a 4 gig card. So let's go ahead and get you set up, and we'll start swapping this around. I'll show you how to remove that cage. Well, gosh dang it, we got them moved down there, and now one of my cables is too short, and I don't like how my cable management's going to work out here. So we're going to run this cable into the case and down towards the bottom where we can get it onto the bottom hard drive, and then we're going to have to get a longer cable for that one. They worked out before, but they don't work out no more. It worked out before, but it don't work out no more. So we're going to keep working on this diligently, but we needed to move that because we got to get this cage out of here. So I need the right cables in here to be able to do that. And I got this cable here I'm going to try to unplug from the motherboard because we don't need it. And sure enough, you won't be able to get a hold of the clip or pull on it because of how it's set up in here. And help me understand. There we go. So we got the short cable out now. We're going to find a longer one over here. I'd rather go with black, but unfortunately all I'm finding here is yellow right now, which is one of the cables that come out of it. So I don't guess it's going to hurt anything. I'd prefer me a different color. I'm not going to lie. And I don't like these 90s. I'd rather have straights on it because I think if I put a 90 there, it's going to block the other one. Great, 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 grand, perfect. I'm going to have to locate me a SATA cable. So let me get a SATA cable located, and we'll cut you back on. Well, on second thought, while we got you on the tripod here, the only thing that I wanted to show you at speed anyway, we can move this stuff out of the way, is we're going to learn together how this cage comes out because it's been a long time since I restored my other one. So I don't remember, but we're going to try these 4 bolts. We'll go with this one here first. And we'll see if that takes that middle cage out. I'd like to be able to take the middle cage out and leave the bottom cage in for our hard drives. And then I'll work on getting the cabling set back up for it. But I'm pretty sure this will work. And I think that Cooler Master made it this way to be modular so you could fit larger graphics cards in it, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure this was by design. But we'll see if the cage will come out of here. We got those screws out and these screws out, and there we go. So there it is. The cage is out. You can see it right there. I'm going to put the screws back in it and set it to the side. We've still got the bottom cage in and that's secured, so we're not worried about that. And now we got the room to fit our graphics card. So bonus. I don't know if any of you got a Hoff case and you might not have knew that you could do that, but you certainly can. Even Cooler Masters on some of their newer cases have features like this where you can leave stuff in or out, and they made it removable just so you could fit larger graphics cards and stuff in them. So this one was definitely set up the right way to do that, and now we got a ton of cable management to do. And instead of ignoring you like I did on the build, I just lost footage and some of it didn't come out that great. So I didn't utilize it, and I'm not going to on this build. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to run all the cabling down here and get that set up, and then we'll get the new graphics, the larger graphics card put in. And we're going to test it on Valorant. Alright, as you can see, we opened up a ton of space in there. I did as much cable management as I could to keep this bare and opened up, and it worked out pretty well. I'll shine a flashlight in there so you can see it better. But we had to do that to fit this big old card in here. And then our other problem, the cabling's a little bit in the way, but we can push that up and look at that. We did it, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. We fit the larger graphics card by removing this cage right here. So that is how you do it if you have a Cooler Master Hoff case, and I've probably done this a time or 10 and just been so many years a guy forgot about it. When I restored the other one, I took these cages out. If you notice, they're not in there. None of these cages are. Because I like a cleaner look on it, so I didn't want the cages on it. And I think I junked them, and I wish I'd kept this little one here for the solid state drive. So that's my only regret with that. But we're going to get the R9 280 installed in it. And we're going to see if our little i5 will run Valorant better and not freeze up like it was doing with the 4 gig card. But I got a feeling that it might not necessarily be the graphics card causing it as much as it is the... not the graphics card as much as it is that little dual core, what is it, dual core 4-thread processor. So our little i5 dual core 4-thread. I'm going to go ahead and get our graphics card plugged in and screwed into the slot here. I like how it looks. I like how it come out. It looks really clean. So I'm happy about that. Our Sapphire card was just a little bit too long here. So this won't bottleneck the CPU too bad. The CPU won't bottleneck this card too bad. I don't want to put anything any more modern than that in there. The build still looks good. So it's still a good looking build. Overall, it still looks very clean. And hopefully we got everything plugged back in right. I'm going to go ahead and not put the side cover back on it, but I'm going to flip it around and get it plugged back in. And we're going to get the drivers installed for this graphics card and do some testing on it. And then we're going to see if our little i5 will actually run Valorant. Let's figure it out. Boy, I can't get this thing to act right for nothing. I just tried to do a restart on it because it was locked down, and you see that stuck open and everything. So, I mean, it locked slap up. We're shutting it off. We're going to try it again. I don't know if it's just trying to do too much at once. And oh, well, I mean, we flipped the switch, and I'll see if it lights back up here. Is it possible that we broke our dang $50 gaming PC already? And the money's adding up in the thing. I mean, $40 in a power supply, whatever the value is, I'd probably get $60 for that card nowadays. The 280X, R9 280X, it is a 4 gig card. It's probably worth $60 to $100, to be honest with you. So we're going to boot back into this. I think what's bogging it down is we got a dual core, 2-core 4-thread. And I think that Riot Games loads up on startup, and I need to go to the startup and change that so it doesn't do that. But those clients will load up. If you look right down there, you'll see what I'm talking about. You see the clients loading up. And they do that on startup, and I think that bogged the system down. So now we got our Radiant software, and we're going to try to open that, and it's going to open up. So I can turn the metrics on for it, and we'll close that back out. So I believe we probably got the drivers in it, so we're going to go ahead and open Valorant now. And this will take, I don't know, 35, 40, 50 minutes to open up sometimes. I don't know. I don't get it. There's the Riot Games, and she's opening. We need to sign in here, so you don't need to see that. But we're going to get signed into it. And we're going to try to authenticate it. And then we're going to see if it goes into Valorant. I want you guys and gals to see that. We want to see if our $50 PC... We did change the graphics card. We put a power supply in it, and we changed the graphics card out. So we're going to get Valorant loaded up here. Oh, it says that I got to do a system restart to play it. What in the ever-living heck is going on here? So we're restarting it again. When I get in Valorant, I'll turn it back on. Alright, we are loading into the game again, and I'm going to tell you right now, we are cranking on the CPU. But the GPU utilization's at 100%. We're at about 66% on the CPU. So, let's see if we can get this thing going here. I have never made it through all the training, so... And I'm just going to run this for a minute. Yeah, this CPU is just not gonna... It is straight up not gonna hold this. And we gotta run up R to reload, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna run through here. And we're just gonna do this for a minute, so I can show you how it runs this. Alright, what do we do wrong here? It says to swap weapons. We do that with number 1, right? Now shoot a box. Alright. Oh, shoot the box. I think 1 headshot would be more sufficient, right? I'm not sure what I'm doing now. I guess we gotta jump up somewhere. I'm stuck. He said something about jumping up some crates, so... Where's the crates at? Maybe these crates? I don't know. I'm gonna hope that it's this one. My guy just don't jump worth a crap. I ain't even kidding you. Where's the highlighted area at? Oh, I guess it's this way. Okay, here's the crates. We found them. I've never played this before, so this is all new to me. We'll just go ahead and do it this way. And you can see I ain't done this type of gaming in a long, long time. Alright, so we follow this and we're going to shoot some more stuff, I would imagine. Alright, I guess we're shooting some bots here. Done there, so let's go down here. Oh, we got one more, so let's go ahead and pop him with a headshot. Yeah, he's moving around on me. Alright. Apparently I gotta go back to the control. Looks like I'm getting a little bit better at it though, so we are maxing this CPU out though. We're at 98% utilization. I'm not making that up. So, but it's running the game. I mean, we're running it at about 100 frame rates per second. So we are running the games. Let's escape out of here for a second. I'll take a look at the video. What are we on? What kind of video settings we got? How do we know? Graphics quality, high, 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 high. It's that on medium. So it looks like we're on medium on a lot of this stuff. I'll close the settings out. And I don't know what we're doing next, but it says open the shop. This is where you buy different guns. Alright, so I just wanted to show you that we are max CPU usage on this thing. Get your tripod moved around over here so you can see these settings real quick before we stop the video, because we don't want it to be too long. But right there you go. I mean, we have got this thing 100% utilized. But it is playing Valorant. We got 84 frames per second right now, so I can't say I'm terribly disappointed in it whatsoever. And as you can see, we were able to make it work. Our $50 gaming PC will in fact game. That's the moral of this one. And you got to see how we could remove a cage and put a longer graphics card in. So we got that done in the video, and I'm pretty happy with it right now. And I'm going to go ahead and play Valorant just a little bit more, because I don't usually game on anything but iRacing, so you guys and gals have me trying something a little bit different. But I will, I guess we're going to end this one here. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It was just an issue I ran into on this old Cooler Master Hoff case, and if you want to pick up one of these nostalgic cases, or you find one and you run into that issue, then you're going to know how to, do it. So that's how you do it. Like, comment, subscribe to SimStation, and we will get back at you on the next video.